Welcome to the HMO Property Show. By investors, for investors. Catch us weekly as we discuss all things cash flow positive property investing. Whether you're a seasoned investor, a new landlord, or just curious about property investing, this is the podcast for you. Sponsored by the Co-Living Collective, your trusted partner in creating vibrant and sustainable shared living experiences. Visit us at colivingcollective.com.au to learn more.
Welcome back to the HMO Property Show. I'm your host Neil Gibb, and today I want to talk to you about the 6 human needs and how they tie into real estate and how real estate helps fulfill them needs for you as an individual. And if you are aware of the incredible Mr. Tony Robbins, you've been to Unleash the Power Within, you've probably heard him talk about these 6 human needs. So what I want to do is firstly tell you how they work outside of real estate, just in everyday normal life, and see if you can connect with them, see how you can understand how these are helping you or holding you back or something like that. And then we'll talk about them in real estate and how real estate can help fill all of these needs in the same specific way. So the 6 basic human needs, and these are needs, not desires. These are certainty. And then just to throw something into the mix, we also have uncertainty, which is variety, the changes in things. Significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. And he says growth and contribution are the 2 things that really help somebody elevate and move forward and give them purpose in their life. When they've got growth and contribution, then a lot of things fall into place for them, according to the great Mr. Tony Robbins. So we've got certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth and contribution. So for certainty, outside of real estate, certainty, you might get certainty through having a job that provides stable employment. Now, I know entrepreneurship and owning a business and being out there probably isn't for everybody, and that's fine. People need stable employment, and having stable employment is also good for financing side of things as well. If you want to borrow money from the banks, they like to know that you've got a steady income, and so that they can get their money back if anything happens with that project. So stable employment gives you certainty. Routine and structure. I am a creature of habit. I love my routine. Routine for me equals results, and becoming an entrepreneur, I used to think that having a routine was the opposite of becoming an entrepreneur, because you want to leave your job to do what you want to do and have time and freedom and all this type of stuff. But once you lose that structure from your day and lose that routine from your day, you kind of just end up wasting time and hours just doing stupid things. So once I started establishing routine back in my day again, I started to get more done, increase my output, which means I actually had more time back to myself. And if you think about when you work for somebody else, they've got a start time, lunch time, coffee time, finish time. You've got structure, and when you're at work, you tend to get a lot done. So routine and structure gives people certainty. And then something else just to throw in there, something along the lines of something like health insurance, so that you know that if anything happens to you, God forbid, and I hope it doesn't, but if anything does happen to you, you've got the health insurance in place to cover you against any medical bills that might pop up. So that's how we get certainty in our lives. Now, on the other side of that, we have uncertainty or variety. And I was actually talking to my beautiful wife about this basic human need, and she's like, I don't know if I do like uncertainty and variety. And I was like, babe, have you seen how many clothes you've got in your wardrobe? And honestly, when I first met Jo, we went to a fish and chip shop in the UK, and she got a bag of chips, and she got scraps, salt and vinegar, tomato ketchup, curry sauce, gravy, mayonnaise, mushy peas, and horseradish. And she doesn't like variety. 7 different things on just a bag of chips. So that's why we like variety. But other ways that people get variety outside of a fish and chip shop is travel. So getting out there, exploring new places, seeing different cultures, seeing how people live, gets you excited, right? I love travel. Hobbies, like engaging in different hobbies outside of your work. Finish work, you go out, you do your cooking or your painting or your sports or whatever you do to keep yourself active. It gives you a little bit of variety in your life. And then social activities, so getting people together, networking. You never know who's going to be there, who you're going to talk to. You might go to one meeting, one networking event, and just meet that one person that changes your life. You might also go to that one meeting and get stuck talking to the same person that you always get stuck talking to, and then you fall back into certainty because you know you're not going to get anything out the end of it because you've already spoken to them 2 or 3 times previously. So travel, hobbies and social activities are how we get variety in our lives. Now this one's an interesting one, significance. Everybody at some point wants to feel important, right? Deep down, we all want to feel important. We all perceive ourselves to be important and significant in this world. I know I do, hand on heart, I absolutely do. I'm a business owner, I'm a leader, I'm a father, I'm a husband. All these things give me significance because it puts a kind of relative amount of pressure on me to be the best I can be every single day. So, and that comes back into me and my routine and structure, because if I follow my routine and structure, then I can be the best that I need to be. You take me out of that routine, if I don't get up at the right time, if I don't train, if I don't meditate, if I don't eat the right things, if I've drank the night before, that makes me a terrible person to be around the next day, because I'm just all over the shop, especially if I've had a drink, which is why I've really pulled back on the drink. I drink, what have I drank this year? I've hardly drank this year at all. We're in July, so if you get anything from this podcast, cut back on the drink and see how much you get done, guys. It's been an absolute game changer for me. But significance, we get significance through achievements, whether that's personal or professional goals, and they help boost self-esteem as well and recognition amongst your peer groups, among your families and stuff like that. And then achievements generally flow into some sort of leadership role, and leadership roles can give us significance as well. I know there's some people that just love to have that manager title on their email signature. For me personally, I'm not too bothered. But some people do love the title that they have at a workplace, and I found that out the hard way when I hired somebody, giving them a title, and it actually caused a little bit of unrest through the rest of my team, and they were like, why have they got manager in the title? And I was like, does it matter? I mean, apparently it did. So this is where significant comes into it. That person was perceived to be more significant than others, when it really is just a title. And then you can get significance through volunteer work as well. And you can do that by contributing to charitable causes. So we donate to Arm for Life. Every year we donate to the Happiness Corps Foundation, and we go along to their Happiness Corps Gala, which is coming up pretty soon. I need to contact Jules about that so we can get our tables booked in. And we also donate we went out and raised money for the Vinnies doing the CEO Sleep Out the other day. So that gives you significance when you can actually volunteer your time and give to other people that need these things more than you. And then number 4 is connection and love. Now, being a male from the northeast of England, love was not a word that I used to speak about easily. It took me years to tell Jo that I loved her. Well, not years, but I just didn't spray it around like I do now. Now I'm a totally different person. Jo has taught me a lot about love, and it's made me realise how important connection and love is. And let's just think about connection per se, right? So when people are isolated and when people are not in their peer groups, they just feel isolated. And right now we have got a loneliness and social isolation epidemic in Australia, where people just feel cut off from the rest of the world. And there's 2 reasons for that. And that's because of social media, and it's because of the big houses that we live in. 26% of households across the country are lone person households. So a lot of people living on their own. So connection and love, as an individual, we can get that through family and friends, obviously, parents, aunties, uncles, your close peer group, etc. And get them through lots of different ways through your family and friends. Through social clubs, again, social clubs on networking events, you get connection. I always say your network is your net worth, and proximity is power, because the more time you spend around these high achievers or people that have achieved what you want to achieve, all of a sudden they'll pull you up to their level, whether it's magnetically or whether you just start acting or being like them, or whether they actually set you tasks and things like that to achieve, to pull you up to that level. But proximity is power, guys, and if you start spending more time around people and getting that connection, you'll get pulled up to their levels. And then we've got romantic relationships. Obviously, you get connection and love by being in love with somebody, having kids, starting a family. Again, I was never a big family man when I was younger. I was just all about myself. I was pretty selfish. But since I've had little Freddie and we've got our second little baby girl on the way in October, I've really started to appreciate and respect how important family and family time and family life is. And then these last two, growth and contribution, are what Tony says are the two big ones where people get the most traction once they have growth and contribution. So growth, it comes through things like education. So whether you have joined a real estate investment course to understand more how to develop property, how to renovate property, whether you've listened to this podcast, whether you're listening to books and stuff like that, and that probably falls into personal development. Personal development is like reading, podcasts, workshops, all that type of stuff. And then you've got physical fitness as well. I feel on top of the world when my fitness is on point, when I'm sleeping well, when I'm eating well, when my diet's dialed in, when I'm not drinking. I feel like I'm growing as a person. And every day we want to be a better person, right? Even if it's just a fraction of a percent better, you want to go to bed smarter than the person that woke up. If you learn something new, a little bit of growth in there, whether that's physical fitness, personal development, or education. If you're growing, if you're not growing, you're dying, according to the big man, Big Tony Robbins. And then the last one's contribution. And I never really wrapped my head around the contribution one for a long time until I got myself into the position that I'm in now and I can contribute. So it comes back to charity work, volunteering for charitable organizations, which gives you significance. We've got mentorship and coaching, like helping other people get from where they are to where they want to be. And then we've got community involvement as well. So whether, you're helping somebody in the community. For me, I used to coach the Melville under-9 soccer team, and I really miss it. I really miss it. Again, that give me connection, give me growth, give me significance. Coaching a kids football team, right? It's incredible. And then I entered the Cape to Cape mountain bike race, and then I unfortunately couldn't commit to everything that I needed to do, so I stopped coaching the kids. But little Freddie G, he's grown up fast now. He's 18-month-old, and I've already been down and looked at the South Perth training facilities, and I cannot wait until he's old enough to start playing football. And I'm not going to force him into playing it. I'll be devastated if he doesn't want to play it, but I'll take him down there. I'll be coaching the kids on a weekend, 100%, because I absolutely love training them, because I get the connection with them, I get the love from them, I see the growth in them as well, and it's me contributing to the local community as well. So that's how, as individuals, we get certainty, uncertainty, significance, loving connection, growth and contribution. Now, when we put this into a real estate standpoint, there's some bullet points that I can take you through in each one of these now, which talks about how we get them basic needs through real estate, and you can get them through business as well. Business and real estate tie into this really well because they fill each of these basic human needs, right? Especially business. You think about all them things, certainty, uncertainty. Wow, definitely get them two things with business. Significance, you definitely have that. You definitely get connection and love. You've definitely got growth, and you've definitely got contribution. But let's break it down into real estate and how real estate can help through each of these basic human needs. So certainty in real estate, you can get that by investing in properties that generate a steady income. Again, very similar to having a job, but if your goal is to replace your income, then you need to invest in properties that are going to give you a steady income. There's no point investing in something that's going to have heaps of vacancies or voids so that your income's choppy. You want to invest in something potentially that's got multiple streams of income. Hello, HMO. If you lose one tenant, you've still got income coming in. You don't lose all your income altogether. So that would give you certainty that you're going to get income from them properties. You've also got appreciation. Now, historically, real estate has always trended up and has doubled in value every 7 to 10 years. Now, it only takes real estate to increase 7% per annum to increase in value every 10 years. And that's using the rule of 72. So 72 divided by the annual growth rate would let you know how many years it would take you to double that investment. So 72 divided by 7% is 10 point something years, 10 and a bit years. If it went up by 10 10% growth per annum. So 72 divided by 10 would give you 7.2 years until it doubled in value. So the rule of 72, guys, there you go. Nice little one that I've thrown in there. And then you've obviously got tax benefits as well. So if you invest in a property, whether it's negative or positive, you can claim depreciation, you can claim tax deductions on your mortgage, on your interest, on your property, and your maintenance costs and stuff like that as well. So that's how you can get certainty from a real estate investment. And on the other side of that, you've also got uncertainty or variety. So we've obviously got all of these different asset classes to invest in. Are we investing in a 3x1, a 3x2, a 4x2, a HMO, an NDIS, an apartment, a unit, a vacant block of land? Are we investing in Western Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, Canberra, South Australia, or the Northern Territory? We've got all this variety, different places, different areas, and that really puts us into, excuse me, different property markets, as well as different property types. And then, let's look at variety. When you do a deal, there's multiple layers or multiple strategies that you can add into a property development or a property project, whether that's a renovation, a subdivision, a construction on the back, renovation, subdivision, construction. Might have gone blank. You can layer in a cash flow positive strategy there, whether you do all of them things, renovate the front house, cut the back block off, build a HMO or an NDIS or whatever you can fit on the back there. And then you've laid in strategies and you've got variety in that one project. And that's the best way to do deals. If you can layer multiple, or chunk deals, should I say. The best way to do chunk deals if you can layer multiple strategies into that one deal. And I think I did a podcast on that, which might have been episode 5, called Manufactured Growth Strategies. Okay, so we've got certainty and variety in real estate deals. So how do we get significance in real estate deals? Well, I've been to a few barbecues in my life, and I'm not pointing the finger at you Australians or us English that come to Australia, but the topic around the barbecue generally ends up revolving around real estate, and everybody is banging the chest about how much equity they've got, how many properties they've got, blah 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 blah. The one thing I have noticed about these people that are talking that they've got $2 million worth of equity, $3 million worth of equity, is they are equity rich and cash flow poor. Now, one thing I know for certain is you cannot go into Coles or Woolworths on a weekend and fill your trolley up with shopping and pay for that shopping with your balance sheet. But you can pay for it with the cash flow that's being poured into your bank account, the surplus rental income after all the expenses are being paid from the property portfolio that you own. So financial success is something that gives people significance in real estate. Now, I replaced my income in 2019 when I walked away from the oil and gas industry, and that gave me significance. I was extremely proud of that achievement, especially in the time frame that I did it and the starting point that I started from, and how creative I had to be along that process, along that journey to get to where we needed to. Owning multiple properties as well. Also, when you got 1 or 2 properties, 3 or 4 properties, 5 or 6 properties, if you've got one, before we had any properties, we used to think that people that own properties were like incredible. Wow, he's got an investment property. Oof. Wow, didn't have a clue what questions to ask them about that investment property. I was like, oh yeah, where is it? What is it? Is it a 4x2? Has it got a games room? Wow, it's got a games room and a theatre room, and it's not even your house. It's an investment property. Holy moly! Imagine the first time I met someone that had more than 6 properties. I thought they were an absolute god, because I'd never met anybody that had done that before. So that gives people significance. And also you can create legacy, which gives you significance as well. Not just legacy, but you can leave a multi-generational, multi-million-dollar property portfolio that just generates cash flow like it's going out of business. If you start investing in property now, and you, especially a HMO, if you invest in something that's generating like a 9 to 12% gross yield, like a lot of our properties are, you're in a position where you could sit your loan term at principal and interest, and you could pay down the debt whilst your property is going up in value, and you're still positive cash flow every single year. And if you're still working and you've got a target to reach in the next 10 years, paying down debt whilst your property goes up in value, is the fastest way to build wealth. Fastest way. Because if you invest in a normal property that just goes up in value, let's say it doubles in value in 10 years, using the rule of 72, right? It goes up 7% every year. $500,000 property ends up being $1 million property. You've still got a $500,000 debt on that, so your net worth is only $500,000. But if you've got $1 million HMO that you consider principal and interest and it doubles in value over 10 years' time, what's your net worth? It's not $1 million. It's actually $2 million because you pay down the debt. So paying down debt, and by the way, that if you approach a bank and you've extinguished the majority of your debt and your portfolio sits at a lower LVR than 80 and 90%, and you've got additional income coming in from the lenders, from your cash flow from your property portfolio, there's a very, very good chance the bank will lend you more money. Top tip from Mr. Gibb right there. Reduce debt. The sooner you reduce debt as well, the sooner you don't have to worry about interest rates and the RBA cash rate and stuff like that, because then once you extinguish the debt, a HMO is just an absolute cash cow. Like if you pay the debt for one of these things in 10 years, it's going to be worth $1.6 to $1.8 million. And it's going to be generating around $100,000 a year after all expenses. If the room rates increase at 3% per annum, there's a good chance that your HMO rooms can increase by 3% per annum every single year for the next 10 years. So that's how we get significance from building a property portfolio. Now this one's a bit of an interesting one, connection and love. How do we get connection and love from building a property portfolio? First of all, we can network with other property investors. We did mention that in the top one there. But your network is your net worth, guys. Proximity is power. You need to be around people that can just pull you up to their... Like you need a high quality peer group, right? That can... The better the peer group, the higher you will rise, because you're going to be influenced by their standards, behaviors, and successes. The concept of having a very good peer group and a good network in real estate it's crucial. And it's always not just investing in real estate and having that good peer group, but it's also great for personal growth as well, because by aligning yourself with a network of successful investors and supported individuals, you can elevate your own performance. And if you're in the right group, they're going to challenge you, provide guidance, and motivate you to reach their level of achievement. And we did mention this earlier. You need a good network around you, guys. There's no way you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to be without extending the people around you, without having the right people around you, without being around people that have achieved what you want to achieve. So just join some networking groups, guys. There's plenty of them out there. You also get community and love by doing community impact. Community impact is... How do we have community impact with a HMO? I mean, wow. It's just the ultimate tool, really, isn't it? If we're providing 6 bedrooms, or 6 micro apartments, whatever you want to call them, if you're putting 6 people in a house with a common area where they can all come out and socialise on a weekend or after work and stuff like that, that is having community impact. Not only is it helping people get affordable accommodation, it's building connection, it's reducing loneliness, and it's also reducing social isolation as well. Now, I get it. These people, some of these people are not going to live in a HMO all of their lives. It's going to be a platform for them, right? To come in, save some money, reduce their overheads, save some cash, and either get into the property market themselves or wait until they meet somebody else, and then they're going to combine their incomes together and get their foot on the property ladder themselves. Now, at the other end of that spectrum, we've got older, 50, 60-year-olds that have come out of divorces. They might not have a great deal of money left, or there might be pensioners and retirees that have already quit the workforce, and right now they don't have much money. So their options are, do I heat or eat, or do I rent a room? And that becomes their default way of living for the rest of their lives. That is how we're having community impact, by investing in HMOs. And then you can also create connection through something that we've done a lot of, so joint ventures, partnerships, etc. You can, again, if you're going to the right networking events and you're asking the right questions and you're meeting the right people and you're going to lunch with them and you're going for drinks with them and you might go for a few beers or a glass of wine with them as well, but you can make connection with the right people and you can joint venture with them, that can accelerate your property investment journey tenfold. And we did a lot of these in the early days, guys. We still do them now. Like there's never enough money on the planet to do, or you've never got enough money yourself to do the deals that you want to do, right? So partnerships and joint ventures have been a crucial part of our journey, and they help you get connection and love when it comes to the basic human needs. Well, let's talk about the last two, which Tony raves about, so growth and contribution. So growth comes from, wow, I mean, I look back at the person that I used to be compared to the person I am now, and sometimes I listen to myself talk, like for instance on this podcast, and some of the things that come into my mouth or come out of my mouth, I think to myself, how do I actually know that? Like 10 years ago, I didn't know that. 10 years ago, I didn't know any of this. 10 years ago, I had one property that I lived in. I was spending all my money because I had no intelligence around money. I had no financial education around money. I was just spending it. I was earning good money, spending good money. I had a convertible BMW. Not so my hair would flow in the wind because I don't have any hair, but I had a convertible BMW. I was going on 3 holidays a year. I had a wardrobe full of clothes. Basically spending everything that came in because I didn't have the skill set that I do now to understand how to make my money work hard for me, so that I didn't have to keep working hard for my money. So the growth comes in the skills that you're going to develop on your journey as a property investor. And every single deal you do, you're going to make mistakes and learn lessons, and you're going to take the mistakes and lessons into the next deal, and you're going to get better and better and better and better, and that's when the growth comes in. And because every lesson or mistake will require you to be a problem solver, and that also is part of growing, right? When I've had a good day at work, I feel like I've solved a lot of problems. I feel like I've got through a lot of work. I can go home and I'm buzzing. Jo says sometimes my energy, she's like, you've had a good day, haven't you? I'm like, yeah, I had a really good day. I feel like I've just got stuff done. We had solved these problems. We had this bottleneck, that was going on, this was going on. Bang, there you go. Problem solving. And then also off the back of all that as well, the other growth component is your bank account, your wealth, your net worth. That's going to grow the more deals that you do, the more you invest. And like real estate's not like a get rich quick thing. I've been doing this for a decade now, so it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. You will build wealth. It takes time, right? And you've got multiple ways that you can do this. You can do manufactured growth strategies to force growth onto a piece of real estate, whether it's a block of land or a property or whatever. And then you've also got the market movements as well. And right now in Perth, the market is going absolutely gangbusters. So everybody that's in the real estate market is experiencing financial growth because their properties are increasing in value, right? The problem is with a lot of these people is their equity position is increasing, but because the cash flow position is so low, they can't actually access that equity to buy more deals. Remember, the only way to increase your borrowing capacity is to reduce your debt or increase your income. And a lot of people, a lot of investors are at interest-only loans. Their equity is increasing, but they're not paying down debt. And the interest rates have increased, so the cash flow position has decreased, which means the banks are just looking at them and going, why would we lend you any more money? You are literally struggling to keep your own life on track now because the income that you're earning is propping up your property portfolio because it's such negatively geared. So that is how we get growth through skill upgrades and developments, problem solving, and financial growth. You see why that one's such a powerful one, because even talking about that there, I got kind of excited. And then lastly, we've got contribution. How does contribution fill the basic human need in the real estate space? Wow. Well, let's just think about it. And we've touched on community impact and connection and love, but we think about community improvements, like bringing new properties to the market, bringing quality accommodation to the market, building community inside these houses. We're thinking of ways how we can build community through our pool of tenants, our pool of housemates, the pool of people that live in these houses now. How do we build that bigger community outside of the houses? So we've essentially got lots of micro communities scattered all over Perth right now. How do we build that into a bigger community so that all of these people feel like they're part of something bigger? That's how we contribute. So you can invest in revitalise properties to contribute to neighbourhood and community development. You've also, mentioned on it there, providing housing to the market, so providing quality housing. And like, housing is a basic human need, right? A basic human need, yet so many people in this country right now, and let's be honest, this is probably one of the best countries on the planet, and I believe Western Australia is up there as one of the best states in the country. I know you guys on the East Coast will probably beg to differ, but I don't think in a country like Australia, which is a lucky country, we should be having a housing shortage. I don't think people should be sleeping in cars and sleeping in tents, and people should be sleeping on the streets. But the problem is, this is where we find ourselves right now, and there's a massive opportunity for you to contribute by bringing accommodation to the market, whether it's a standard house. I don't particularly care what you buy, as long as you take action and start building wealth with something that can help somebody. That's the magic sauce right there, guys. The housing is a basic human need. It's the vision of our company. We see a world when our job is finished at the HMO Property Show. We've got the vision, the mission, the values, the purpose of the business. As you know, the mission is to deliver 10,000 rooms to the market by 2031, and the vision, when we hit that point, is we see a world where everybody has access to housing because it's a basic human need. Now, this job's too big for us just to fix ourselves, right? We can't do this alone, guys. This is why we set up the business, to bring people in, to help them build wealth and fix the problem with us. But right now, we're just not building enough housing. And look, there's multiple things that are stopping people from moving forward. We spoke about them already there. Equity rich, cash flow poor, interest rates are too high. Building or construction time over the last few years has taken too long, so there's a lot of scaremongering out there. A lot of people are just uncertain, so they don't want to move forward because they're not sure when their building will be finished. Now, if we can give them certainty, which is like a build time guarantee, then I dare say a lot of people would move forward. But a lot of builders are still struggling after everything that's gone on in the market. A lot of them are still struggling, and a lot of them don't want to commit to build time guarantees. Plus, the market is starting to move again, guys. If you look at the land sales and the number of build contracts that have been signed over the last 6 months, there's potentially another little mini construction boom coming. So why would they need to offer people build time guarantees now when people are just signing up to build more houses because they've missed out on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I've got a thumbs up there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 offers on properties that they've already been outbid from by other people that have also missed out on other properties as well. So now people have thought, sack this, I'm over this established property market. I'm just going to buy a block of land and I'm going to go find a builder. I'm just going to build this thing because I'm sick of messing around. That's where we're finding ourselves now. That's why we're seeing an uptick in land sales and build permits being signed and build contracts being signed. I was on contribution, wasn't I? Yeah, so we've done community improvement, providing housing, and then the job creation. Real estate industry is one of the biggest employers in the country. Yes, I know mining is huge in Western Australia. But if you think about it, everybody in the country that has a house lives in a house, and we needed builders to build that house. We needed real estate agents for us to buy them properties. If we're renting, we need a real estate agent to rent through so they can collect the rent for us. There's then contractors, plumbers, sparkies, maintenance guys, property managers. All of these jobs, all of this work is boosting local economies all across the country. We just hired 5 new people. We've got 1 more person starting next week. That's 6. That's going to take us to 30 employees now, helping us deliver the mission of delivering 10,000 rooms to the market. Every time we bring people into the business, we take them through the purpose, the vision, the mission. This is who we are. This is where we're trying to go. We need you to get on the bus with us and help us drive towards this direction because we can't do it alone. Do you want to come on board? Do you want to join the team? That's how we hire. Obviously, they've got to have the skill set to tick the boxes for the role that we're trying to fill. But there's a lot of people that we've hired that we were in competition with a few of the companies that they were looking at. And we've won because of the purpose, the vision, the value and the missions that we've got here at the HMO Property Show. So hope that helps. Hope that helps you understand more about the 6 human needs and how they tie into real estate. Because real estate isn't just about making money. It's about filling your basic human needs while you make a positive impact on the community. And you do this by addressing issues like single person households, housing stress, embracing the principles of impact investing, and you can create a meaningful and fulfilling investment journey by understanding this concept, setting goals, taking action, and letting real estate do its thing for you. So I hope that helped, guys. Join us again next week, and remember, every master was once a disaster, and every winner was once a beginner.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in the same time next week so you can stay up to date with all cash flow positive property updates.